sorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
ADT is the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins. ADT knows every second counts, especially in baseball. 1 second you're down, the next you're on top again. 1 second the bases are loaded, the next everyone's home safe. And when it comes to your home, 1 second you feel safe, and the next something goes wrong. But with ADT's 24/7 professional monitoring, you still do. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com/Marlins or call 800-750-0647 today. For license information, visit ADT.com.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and when it's time for your next move, trust the brand the Miami Marlins trust. The Good Greek, as the National Mover of the Year and Florida's most preferred, Good Greek will make your move a home run every time. Whether it's across town or across the country, trust America's best mover to get you there safely. Schedule your move today at goodgreek.com, the official mover of your Miami Marlins and National Mover of the Year, Good Greek.
Good Greek, moving and storage, your superhero movers.
Batter up, homeowners. Protect your most valuable asset against termites, the silent threat of costly damage. Terminix has the ultimate defense. Score unbeatable protection against termite threats with affordable monthly plans. Strike out termites. Visit Terminix.com/Marlins to schedule your free inspection today. Terminix, where trust and protection hit a home run.
Thanks for listening to Miami Marlins Baseball. Marlins Baseball is brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. With the 10th Inning Show, here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
It was a tough one to swallow, and yes, you took a series in Milwaukee against the best team in the National League, the Milwaukee Brewers, who now are 62-43, but you were so close to a sweep in Milwaukee, and the Fish were playing as good a baseball as anybody in the game. Jack McMullen here taking you through the 10th inning show after a 3-2 walk-off loss for the Marlins at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. It was Blake Perkins with an RBI single, a walk-off single that one hopped off the wall in right center field to end it. This was a game that was started by Yuri Perez, and Yuri looked the part again. This guy has been the best pitcher in baseball in the month of July. He finishes his 5-start July with an ERA in the low ones. But Yuri went 5 innings, a 1-run ball. He K'd 6 and walked 2. He surrendered just 2 hits, and his ERA on the year sits at 3.07. He went opposite Brandon Woodruff, the veteran right-hander for the Brewers. He went 6 innings, a 2-run ball. He K'd 6 and walked 3. The Marlins had good at-bats against another talented Brewer starting pitcher, but in the end, they just couldn't scratch enough across. And timely hitting for Milwaukee got the job done. Andrew Vaughn had an RBI ground rule double in the 8th, and Blake Perkins was your hero in the bottom of the 9th. There were a couple of miscues from the Marlins on the base paths. You saw it in the top of the 7th inning where they had 2 guys picked off to end the 7th inning. First, it was Dane Myers picked off at second base, and then Xavier Edwards picked off and a caught stealing. He tried taking second base, but on a pickoff attempt from Aaron Ashby, he was extinguished. So that was kind of the main threat that went by the wayside. But the Marlins, again, really gritty plate appearances today. Unfortunately, just not enough in a 3-2 loss to Milwaukee. When we come back, a listen to the highlights here. 10th inning show continues on the Marlins Radio Network. 0-2. Sanoha lines that one into left center field. Collins on the move. Collins overran it, and it rolls right by him in left center. Myers comes in to score. Sanoha trying for 3. Relay going to third. Plucked out by Durbin, and he gets the tag on Javi. 1-1 our score between the Marlins and the Brewers. And Augustine smashes the ball out to right and deep. Frelick is back at the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Augustine Ramirez in opposite field shots. Homer number 15 on his season. He just missed a homer by inches yesterday, and he gets it back today. 2-1 Marlins in the top of the 4th. 3-1 from Quintana. He's swinging away, and he drills it out to left center field. Collins is back. He's looking up, and it's gone. Big Bird into the Brewer bullpen. Heriberto Hernandez with a 3-run shot. And the Marlins answer back like they always do. Blistered off the bat, 112 miles an hour, and it's 5-3 Fish in the fifth.
For the third base. Put the ball in play here.
3-2. Dane swings, lifts one high in the air, out to left center and deep. Collins is back. That's bullpen bound again. It went beyond it. Dane Myers, 428 feet out to left center, and that has to feel so good for him. You were clamoring for insurance, and you got it. 1-2, Durbin goes again, but that one is a called third strike. 96 painted on the inside corner. And the Miami Marlins come to Milwaukee and take a series from the best team in the National League. It's the first time the Brewers have lost back-to-back games since July.
Meyer, and you're listening to the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
Well, tough loss for the Fish this afternoon in Milwaukee. 3-2 the final score. Blake Perkins with a walk-off single to end it. And the Marlins were just an inning away, just a run away from sweeping the Brewers at their place, but unfortunately they fall by a run in this one. How did this ball game sound? Well, scoring got going right away. First pitch of the ball game, Xavier Edwards laced a double into the right field corner against Brandon Woodruff. And then Kyle Stowers, he didn't hit it hard, but he opened scoring. Woodruff seeing Kyle, first pitch. He's swinging away. He loops one beyond the outstretched glove of the shortstop Ortiz. It's dribbling into left for a base hit, and that is an RBI knock. X comes in to score from third. You don't have to hit it hard. It feels like he always does. But that's 73 miles an hour off the end of the bat. A little looper evaded the shortstop Ortiz, and it's 1-0 Fish in the top of the first. In the bottom of the first inning, there were some defensive heroics from the Marlins to keep the Brewers off the scoreboard. Christian Yelich nearly got into one against Yuri Perez, but Dane Myers had some other thoughts. 2-2, Chourio on the go, and Yelich powers one out to center and deep. Myers is back at the track. Dane jumps up, and Dane made the catch. Dane Myers leaps up and takes at least a double away from Christian Yelich. He reached to the top of that wall in straightaway center field, and Myers comes to play again in center field. What a play by Myers, and that strands a man at first base. Upon further review, it did seem like Dane took a homer away from Christian Yelich. It was a tremendous play from Myers, and we have seen so many of those this year. But Milwaukee would tie this thing up at a run apiece in the bottom of the third. Eric Haas was hit by a pitch, and Jackson Chourio continued his reign over the Miami Marlins this year. There's the first pitch to Chourio. That one in on his hands. He flares it down the left field line. Long run for Stowers. That is a fair ball. It one hops off the warning track. Stowers picks it up in the corner. He mishandled it a little bit, and Haas will come around to score from first base. Jackson Chourio with a double extends the hitting streak to 20 games, and he ties this game at 1 in the bottom of the third. But the Marlins had a response in the bottom of the third inning. It was that Chourio double. In the top of the fourth, Big Bert again. Here. And Hernandez rips one high in the air out to right. That's carrying pretty well. Collins is back at the track. It kept on going, and it's gone. Big Bert come again. Second homer of the weekend. And Heriberto Hernandez drills his fifth on the year. 2-1 Fish in the top of the fourth. So Heriberto Hernandez gave the Marlins the lead, and more defense really helped the cause. It was Jesus Sanchez to end the fourth inning on a ball that kind of evaded our look. That's nearly 400 evolutions higher than average. Joey Ortiz pops the first pitch he sees up and to right in the corner. Jesus Sanchez in foul ground. He leaped up.
You got it.
And did he make the catch?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it.
He
Phil
made
Cousin.
the catch. There we go. Jesus Sanchez went leaping up against the padded wall in foul ground in right field. He disappeared from our vantage, but he did make the catch, and that ends the inning. Nice play by Jesus, and Yuri strands 2. And it was maybe a bigger one in the 6th when Yuri exited after his 5 innings of 1-run ball. Valente Belloso came on. He took a 102-mile-an-hour liner from Christian Yelich right off the leg on one of the first pitches that he threw. Valente stayed in the game. He got Vaughn to fly out to deep center, and then Isaac Collins singled. So the Brewers, trailing 2-1, had runners at first and third, but Valente got his ground ball. This is on the way. And that one, a one-hopper at X. He turns. He goes to second for 1. On to first in time for 2. Valente Belloso slaps his chest. It was a hard one-hopper. Picked on the forehand by X. He stopped on a dime. He threw it to second. And Otto, with a strong return throw to Hicks, was in time to strand a man at third. We're through 6 on the DP. But the Brewer offense broke through in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was a leadoff double from Chorio. Who else? And then the scalding hot Andrew Vaughn plated the tying run. 2-1. Vaughn hits one high in the air, deep center field. Myers was playing shallow. He's back at the track. It one-hops over the wall, and it's another ground rule double. Myers was playing so far in. You feel like a guy like Dane could have gotten to that high fly ball, but it bounced on the warning track and hit right over the wall. It is a game-tying double. We're knotted at 2 in the bottom of the 8th off the bat of Andrew Vaughn. And then we got to the bottom of the 9th. Cade Gibson got the first man that he saw, Anthony Siegler, to strike out looking, but then Eric Haas with a single, Bryce Terang with a double, intentionally walked Chorio to load the bases, and Blake Perkins, who came out as a pinch runner in the inning prior, called game for Milwaukee. Bases loaded, payoff pitch. That one lined into deep center field. That is plenty deep enough. It one hops off the warning track, hits off the wall, and it's a walk-off single for Blake Perkins. He drilled a ball to right center field. He played it Haas from third, and the Brewers walk it off to avoid the sweep. 3-2, the final score on Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. Blake Perkins, the hero for the Brewers on Sunday afternoon, and the Marlins will settle for a simple series win over the best team in the National League. Not too bad a weekend, but man, did you want that sweep. Again, the series win feels good, but the sweep would have felt awesome. That's how this ballgame sounded again. Marlins fall to the hosting Milwaukee Brewers 3-2 via walk-off single from Blake Perkins. When we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough. That's coming up on the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network. For the last 3-4 months, it's Stowers is in scoring position right now. 2-2. That one cracked out to left center field. Collins on the move. Back to the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Scoring position right now. Kyle Stowers, homer number 23. And he silences this capacity crowd in Milwaukee. 1-0 Fish in the top of the third. Bases loaded, one away, 3-1. Otto lines one into right center field. That is in for a base hit. It's going to plate at least 2. Stowers pulling into third. Blake Lally holds him up. Now he sends him. Stowers getting the run around. That ball was bobbled in right center field. Otto pushes to third, and Stowers comes in to score from first base. A defensive miscue by a sure-handed Brewer team, and it's a 3-run double or triple from Otto Lopez to open this game up. Misfires galore from Nick Mears, and now it's 4-1 Fish in the top of the 7th.
Kind of more validation of the way we've been playing, I think. Crazy atmosphere here. Kind of felt like a playoff game. I think we were able to, have some really good at-bats. I think it was in that 6th inning, 6th or 7th inning. That really was the difference in the game, and kind of took the crowd out of it late. They're a really good team. Expect them to come back ready to go tomorrow. So we got to, enjoy this one for a little bit and then flush it and get on to the next one.
Home run number 23 for you. I asked Clayton McCullough earlier today, teams are starting to pitch you more cautiously. You're going to have to take your walks. How do you find that balance of not trying to press but also still trying to be effective?
Yeah, learning how to do it, trying to just be stubborn to my approach, take good at-bats, try to see the ball well and, kind of just let whatever happens go from there.
What do you think of the at-bat quality, especially wearing out Freddie Peralta today?
Oh, I thought as a team it was really, really good. I think even, in that first inning, he got 2 outs, 9 pitches.
10th inning show rolls on. Marlins fell to the hosting Milwaukee Brewers 3-2. It was a walk-off single from Blake Perkins in the bottom of the 9th inning with the bases loaded against Cade Gibson. Again, the series win feels really good. The win on the weekend in Milwaukee feels awesome, but man, that sweep would have felt great. Let's hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough, after this one.
This was a back-and-forth game, a lot of big plays. What did you see late in the game, though, that led to the defeat?
They found a way to push across a couple runs and run there to tighten the 8th, and then did a good job of hitting in the 9th there to get some traffic on and come through. So good series. It was a really fun 3 games against which we know is a really high-caliber opponent, and proud of how we came out today. With a chance to do something special and sweep a road series, and we just came up short, but still a lot of great takeaways from these 3 days here.
Yeah, you take 2 out of 3. How do you view this weekend here in Milwaukee?
Anytime you can go on the road and win a series, it's a big deal, and especially with how well Milwaukee's been playing. And I think we came out and played, a lot of ways, very good baseball for 3 days and did a lot of nice things. And stings today to feel like close game that. Had a chance and to come up short.
What did you think of Prez's day on the mound today?
Yuri has continued. He's been on a nice run especially this last month as he got a few outings under his belt. I think we continue to see the stuff is elite, especially the fastball. And I think he's growing more and more confidence in his secondary stuff and how his breaking stuff is coming along and how well that just complements his heater. So I think another terrific outing for Yuri to hold an opponent down for a run through 5. He was outstanding again. He just continues to get better and better as he logs more innings.
What are you hoping the team learns from the wins and the loss today over the weekend against a playoff team in Milwaukee?
How small the margin for error is when you're playing these tight contested games against quality opponents, especially on the road. Things happen. You need the ability to respond to them. And Bert did that today, came out, hit a home run to give us the lead again. And, Woodruff's a very good pitcher. And those are, we saw 3 very good arms in this series. And I think in kind of their own way, we, did a very good job. And I think that's, as we continue to go, it's just whether you win or lose and you get in more and more of these games that everything matters. And, we'll take this one and be happy with the series win and go on to St. Louis.
How's Beoso doing after taking that shot to the leg?
Beoso will be okay. Yeah. Tough guy. Hung in there, and that was a huge double play he got to get out of the 6th and turn it over. So, I think he'll be fine.
Back to Yuri real quick. That confidence that he shows on the mound, 22, still relatively young in his career. So what does that kind of tell you about the player, the person that he is?
He's shown an incredible amount of composure. He's got a really high drive and competitive nature, and that Yuri is always looking to get better. I think he's been very open to any and all feedback that he's gotten. He's been very communicative with our pitching crew, and we're seeing and we think Yuri, he's so far from his ceiling, which is a great thing for us, that he still has a lot of room to continue to grow. And he puts in the right type of work between starts. He's very intelligent. He's competitive, great teammate. So, another good step for Yuri, as he gets further and further away from the time off.
All right, that was the skipper, Clayton McCullough. After this one, again, it was a 3-2 loss for the Marlins at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. When we come back, we'll tie a bow on this thing. 10th inning show concludes next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Visit Miccosukee.
Hard for a hitter to pick up.
2-1 from Cease. That one ripped up the middle, and that's down for a base hit. 1 run surely going to score. Sanchez is being held at third, but X comes in from second base, and the Gus Bus drives in another. That's an RBI single. Fish on the board first. 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. 3-2. Sanoha going again, and Sanchez rips one out to right and deep. Tatis looking up. That is gone. Jesus Sanchez sends a screamer out in a blink. And there's some breathing room for the fish. 2-run shot. Number 9 on the year. 3-1 Marlins, bottom 5.
Back here with Calvin Fauché, first time going more than an inning here today. When did you get that call that you were going to go multiple here tonight?
Clayton came up to me before the game and asked if I'm good to do that, and I said yes. If my name's called, I'll be ready to go.
You grew up a Padres fan. I know you've been up here for a little bit, but is it still sometimes you have goosebumps thinking about closing the game out against a team like?
Yeah, maybe more so though, like adrenaline, a little more adrenaline for sure. Because growing up watching them and now playing against them, it's pretty cool.
What did Sandy remind people of today?
He reminded him of himself. That's who he is. He threw the ball great for us today, pounded the zone. I'm excited for him.
How validating has this homestand been, beating both teams, in a series?
Yeah, coming back from a break, I mean, you never know. Teams come in, they try to play their best ball, and we've stayed hot. We were hot before the break, and we kept it going.
Thanks for the time, Calvin.
Thank you.
There. And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
And today's show concludes here after a 3-2 loss for the Marlins at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. Back in action tomorrow night at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. The Marlins take on the St. Louis Cardinals. First time we see the Cardinals. It's kind of weird that it's taking until July 28th to see a National League team, but that is the case. Cardinals return the favor in August at Lone Depot Park. But at Busch Stadium tomorrow, it'll be Edward Cabrera, 4-4 with a 3.48 ERA against Andre Palante, 5-7 with a 4.9 ERA. Again, 7:45 first pitch tomorrow. Steven hits the air at 7 o'clock Eastern with Marlins on deck. Huge thank you to Ahmed Jordan in studio. For Steven and for Gabby, I'm Jack saying so long from American Family Field in Milwaukee. And the final score today, the Marlins walked off by the Brewers 3-2 on Sunday afternoon. This has been a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM